Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're still watching Cairo Local Time, and now we have over the phone Dr. Mohamad Azaby. He is Professor of International Relations. He will be talking to us more about the NEPAD and Egypt's vital role in Africa. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much for joining us today. I would like to start by asking you what were the main priorities during Egypt's chairmanship of the NEPAD Orientation Committee, Dr. Mohamad?
Well, before talk about the importance of NEPAD to Egypt, we need to put focus on His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi speech today. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi didn't deliver his address in person at the 39th ordinary session of the African African Unity Assembly in Addis Ababa. And instead, Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdel Ati read the speech on his behalf. The speech was presented during the discussion of the report of the NEPAD Heads of State and the Government Orientation Committee, where Egypt concluded its 3-year chairmanship since February 2023. We can say that Egypt put focus on NEPAD, especially Egypt as the chairman of this organization, and need to make a development for the African countries, many projects in African countries. In his speech today, which said by Dr. Badr Abdel Ati, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi spoke about African countries need $500 billion to finance approximately. That African countries need 300 development projects across the continent. Also, if we want to talk about the NEPAD organization, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi takes the responsibility to develop this organization and make it the first organization in the African countries that we need to make a cooperation between all African countries in many fields, especially that African countries have great sources in their land about minerals and water. So if there is put a principle of win-win about all African countries, it will raise the level of life to all African countries and will develop all countries and be rich countries instead of poor countries.
Yeah. Dr. Mohamad, how does the second 10-year implementation plan advance the goals of African Union Agenda 2063?
Well, we can say that we need starting feasibility studies for a sustainable fund to structurally address financing gaps, long-term institutional thinking, rather than one-off initiative, progress reviewed in large scale, cross-border infrastructure, routes, energy, digital connectively. Also, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi wanted to let the NEPAD in the next 10 years to end all struggles and conflicts in all African countries. He tried to put a principle of African solutions for African problems. He wants to make the African continent, the African continent is a unity it didn't need in any other countries outside Africa. So if we succeed to manage the NEPAD, if we succeeded to strengthen cooperation between ODA and the NEPAD, the African Country Center for Post-Conflict Reconstruction in Cairo and the Aswan Forum, all this are just methods to create the cooperation in the next 10 years.
Yeah, Dr. Mohamad, how would the proposed NEPAD Development Fund help address the Africa's financing gap?
Well, as I said, that all African countries, especially developed countries, have agreed sources in their lands. If we all NEPAD countries cooperate together and take the best benefits from their sources and cooperate with a country like the great Egypt, especially that Egypt have a great experience in the field of infrastructure, in the field of industry. So if they took the aid of Egypt, they will succeed to reduce the gap between all countries, especially in the economic level.
Yeah. And how has Egypt contributed to capacity building and development financing in the Nile Basin countries?
Well, we know that there is a problem about the river Nile between Egypt and Ethiopia. And all countries, all African countries, put conditions that we don't need to, like Sudan, we don't need to support any militia in Sudan. So the first conflict is about to be solved. Let's now the problem between Egypt and Ethiopia about the dam of Ethiopia, and President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi tried to solve it peacefully, especially he considers a man of peace, and try, especially after the speech of Donald Trump, when he said that he will help Egypt to solve this problem. I think if this problem solved, it will be a great project on the countries on the River Nile together.
What can the proposed African Business Summit strengthen cooperation between governments and the private sector? And also I would like you to tell me more about the Africa Trade Agreement and the latest developments on the ground on this issue.
Well, in Egypt, the private sector made a lot of projects, especially in the field of infrastructure, with cooperation between the private sector and the Egyptian government. So the private sector have a great experience in this project. So we saw the project of Uganda Dam, and who made by the private sector, Egyptian private sector. So all countries need to cooperate between the government and the private sector, especially the private sector have a great experience in many projects, especially infrastructure, also railway lines, airports, many projects that African countries need these days.
Dr. Mohamad, why is reforming the global economic system important for African countries facing mounting debt?
Well, the global economic system is important because that we saw a great gap between African countries, especially in the economic level. Many countries considered as poor countries, despite of they have great wealth, great sources in their land, but didn't use it as possible. So the global economic system will make the best use of all African sources in the principle of win-win. So it will reduce the gap and raise all the living, the standards of living for all African people.
Yeah. Back to our talk about the NEPAD, I would like to ask you about why was restructuring and strengthening the NEPAD's institutional framework is considered necessary now?
It is very important to spread the continent, the sharing of other countries in the NEPAD organization, because many projects need more countries. Many projects need a lot of money to make new projects. So we want to strengthen the wideness sharing for countries in NEDAP to make cooperate in the projects that all African countries need these days.
And one final question, Dr. Mohamad, how can aligning Agenda 2063 with the national development plans improve the implementation outcomes?
Well, if all African countries succeeded to achieve this agenda, I think that all African people will be like the European people, have an agreed standard of living. They will have a good opportunities to live better than now. Also, the African countries didn't need to deal with any outside institution to have a loan, and the all African countries will have a good economic life.
Yes, Dr. Mohamad Al-Azaby, the Professor of International Relations, thank you very much for joining us today in Cairo Local Time.